Hello, welcome back to It's New. And I think it's just us again. I think Crystal's Mike's having a sick day, so we'll see what's going on with that. That being said, I'll talk about core update volatility, post core update volatility, it being finished, and a bunch of other small things here and there. Greg, what do you got for us?
Site reputation abuse, FAQs, AI overviews, and more news you can use.
And Morty.
Sundar Pichai said a whole bunch of stuff. I don't know what the hell we're even doing anymore.
Yada, yada, yada. All right. So the Google search ranking or November core update finished rolling out on Thursday afternoon. I was terribly wrong in my prediction. Was anybody right here?
No, I was close. I said Tuesday.
Oh, you're a failure also. So it's all good. Anyway, it took longer than everybody expected. And I covered it in detail on the Friday video. So if you missed it, you probably didn't miss much, but the core update finished. That being said, after the core update finished, like every single core update, there was more volatility right afterwards. We saw some people talking about it on a Friday, then Saturday and Sunday, and then this morning. So I posted another blog post called Search Ranking Volatility Continues Post Core Update. News is post core update volatility. Big shocker. That being said, there are a lot of people who actually notice a lot of volatility. The tools themselves seem to be spiking as much as they were during the core update, which is typical these days. And again, if you're seeing any ranking volatility, you're just definitely not alone. So keep that in mind. Let's move on to Greg from here.
Okay, so Barry, you covered a sneaky little change, I think is what you called it on your post, to the site reputation abuse policy, or you said quietly updated.
Yeah, I didn't call it sneaky. No.
And the FAQs, there's now kind of like a full list of different questions that you might have with the site reputation abuse policy. A couple of them, just of note, I would say, is they define what third-party content is. They talk about if affiliates like are third party, and the answer is no. The real kind of outlying message here is that if you are using content to abuse policies, I think the majority of the answers say, like, if you are using, this content to abuse and try to, rank, that's the biggest issue. And then they talk about a couple of things too, like, what do I do? Do you no index it? If you get it, can you move it? And all that. So if you haven't hit by that, definitely a good thing to check out. And again, to me, it still seems like this is not a site reputation abuse update. It's a third-party abuse, because you can still try to put out content as long as it's first party. It doesn't have to, at least looking at the site reputation abuse policies from Google, that it's A-okay as long as it's first party.
Yep.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Right to your heart's content.
Yep, your Forbes, just keep going on about those CBD gummies. Just make sure they're on the payroll.
I don't know. I got some bunch of weird messages and phone calls from some people who are hit by this, and they're going with that this is we have first party, and we're going to go ahead and even the truth is they're using third parties for this, but they're going with it, like, we are using first parties for this. Our own people are writing this, and they're going to go ahead and say, that's what hard. How does Google prove it's third versus first party? I guess there are ways to check that, but it's very interesting. FAQs, definitely look at it. And they did post about it quietly, although I hate when they do that. They add it to a blog post that nobody's going to read after they post it. But again, Danny Sullivan did post about it on Blue Sky to a reply saying we did update this blog post to somebody. I happened to obviously notice it, so I covered it both at Search Engine Land and Search Engine Roundtable.
And we thank you. We thank you for your noticing.
I don't know if you do. I don't know if it's, again, it doesn't really help anybody, really.
I think it's going to hurt people, to your point. All these people.
Wow, Barry's hurting people now. Okay.
Typically, that's what I do.
Yeah.
It hurt people. No, because people are going to look at it and do what you just heard. We're talking to somebody about, saying, hey, I have content that I want to use this domain authority, and I want to have this content show up, and I'm just going to have somebody on the payroll putting out whack content that doesn't match the domain. And guess what? It's not a third party.
Right.
Guess what's going to happen?
Whack content writer.
Those whack content writers writing ratty content, they're going to get clipped again. It's like, I don't know. Okay. I'll shut up and go to the next one. So there's been a lot of talk about Google search here. Mordy, I think you may be talking about sort of the future of it. And at least according to Zip Tie, there is a substantial drop off, what looks to be the beginning of December, in how many times AI overviews are showing. So it does seem like it is a little bit of the dusting of the your money, your life. I know that finance was down from 25% to 19%. Health was from 60 to 50%. So I think that at least those are sensible places to, stop that. But there was also some chatter as to whether or not this actually is a drop, or if it's just kind of the tool. It's pretty hard to report these things. So I know Glenn Gabe had a good post over on X. But yeah, maybe some fewer AI overviews, at least here in December.
But they're so helpful. Why are they going away?
Well, it's the future, Mordy. I don't know if you've heard about this. It's the future of search. Google's shown, Google is going to be leading the way with AI overviews.
Yeah, they also said you like them better. So that's weird that there's less of them because we like them better.
Yeah, I mean, just a quick note. I don't know. I mean, I asked ZipTie to look it over. I haven't really heard back officially. They said it looks like it's going down. SEMrush in some categories also shows the same thing. I don't know. It might be a glitch on Google's side. It might be a glitch with the tools. I really don't think we'll see fewer AI overviews in the long term. I think we'll just see more. So a little was taken back by this data. I never thought we would see less AI overviews going forward. So again, I would just be, I don't know. I'm not sure. I would just keep an eye on it and see, because AI overviews are very important to track. So keep an eye on it. And then we could probably talk about the future of search with Mordy.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, there's so much to really cover. So Sundar Pichai got interviewed. It was like the New York Times. I always screw up the people. Yeah, it was New York Times. And there's basically two big chunks of the video of the interview. It's a good interview, by the way, really good interviewer. One part was about how Google has, invested in AI. And Sundar saying, we've used AI all this time with Bird and Mum, and we've improved search because of it. And it's interesting because I'm not in the know, but I don't think they use Mum all that much in the algorithm. So I think it just dropping acronyms a little bit there. Like, oh yeah, we use Mum, sure. Which is interesting because like the whole thing is like the results kind of stink right now. So maybe it hasn't helped so much. Maybe it's like the AI is not great. Although the machine learning is like, I think is a good thing and yada, yada, yada. I'm not trying to crap on that. Then there was another section where they talked about the creator ecosystem, where Sundar's being pressed, like, how are people, like, how is there an incentive to create content? How are you rewarding the people who are creating the actual content? He actually pressed him really hard about the Reddit thing, because he gets a really funny kind of economy, because you're paying Reddit and you're saying, okay, we're paying for content, but the people on Reddit are typing away for free. Like, how does that work? None of the answers were actually good. I thought the one thing, like, there's a lot to say, watch the video. The one thing I really didn't like, and there was a lot of things I didn't like, was when he asked him about the ethics of the whole thing, like fair use. Is fair use different in the AI era? And Sundar's like, well, Congress will have to determine that. That's your ethical stance on things? Like, let's ask Congress what they think in 5 years from now? Are you serious? That was first off, that was the best answer you could possibly think of.
It could have been worse. You saw what Microsoft's lead did, Musafta did on that. He's like, no, this content's ours. We're going to use it. It's on the web, period.
Okay,
at least he can go with that stance. I mean,
right. No, I'll just ask Congress.
He's like, I think his response was, yeah, it is a Congress problem. I get that. And at the same time, he's like, things are going to change. Like, the web's going to change. And with that, everything's going to change. And it's Google's fault things are going to change. But if it wasn't going to be Google, it was going to be somebody else.
It's like saying, like, hey, let's rob this store, and we'll wait for them to make a law to like make it illegal to rob the store. But until then, it's totally fine to rob the store. We
do have that across many states in the United States. You steal this amount, you can't be arrested. So people just steal up to that amount.
Oh, do you know the amounts, Barry?
I don't actually. It depends on the state, I think, or the city.
Empty your pockets.
It was a very good video. I definitely recommend everybody watch it. Yeah. You don't have to watch it, you just listen to it in the background. Super interesting. A lot of people are quoting it. And he does say a lot of nothing. But whenever a CEO of a company like Google says a lot of nothing, it gets a lot of something.
He's really good at deflecting too. Like, they're asking like, hey, with like AI, new engines being able to answer things, like, you're a little behind. And like, his answer is like, oh, well, we've served 9 billion searches using, BERT and Mum and LLMs in the search results. We are the leader. It's like, that's not the question.
He was asking, when they asked him about like the creator, content, payments. He starts talking about how like we give away free tools for whatever. I'm like, what's that got to do with the price of tea in China?
Definitely worth to listen though.
Right. I mean, the truth is, I read just a great Wired piece. Like, I actually subscribe to one physical magazine, Wired, although probably shouldn't. Any event, and it does go through the history of all this transformer stuff and AI. And Google was really the leader. They just sat on it for a while, and they use it here and there. But it was, I like the comment to like, I would love to like, where he's like, I like to sit down with Microsoft one-on-one and just like compare where we are, Google is to Microsoft when it comes to AI. Cause basically he hinted like, Microsoft's just like licensing it from OpenAI, which is kind of true. So any event, moving on from there, definitely, again, watch that video or listen to that video is really good. So Google Search Console, the links report seems to have updated. Either you're seeing a lot more links or a lot fewer links. I'm not sure anybody who tracks that stuff, but whenever somebody goes ahead and mentions it, I look at my previous report last time I covered it, and I say, yeah, it's up or down from my previous report for one website. It's just hard to cover something like that. Bigger news on the Search Console side is that Google removed the legacy tools and reports from the sidebar. This is spotted by Glenn Gabe. Nobody actually mentioned it outside of Glenn Gabe, and it's gone. Again, there's some ways to access those tools directly, but it is gone. So keep that in mind if you want to access that legacy stuff. You're gone. And then on Friday, I posted a whole cluster, I guess I call it, of canonical topics from Google from their great video. They did an interview. It was really, really good. It's been a long time since Google posted one of those good search off the record videos. Definitely recommend you listen to it. It really goes through a lot of cool stuff in terms of SEO and how Google search works and canonicalization and duplication and localization. And I could go on and on, but definitely take a look at that because there's really good topics there. Any event, thanks so much for listening to It's New. We're back tomorrow with more, and I'll speak to you guys later. Bye-bye.